So moving to UK from Ghana, Nigeria, or any country in Africa in 2023, this content is for you. Please endeavor to set things right. Make your plans ahead of coming. Things are not always as rosy as it is said. There is no perfect heaven on earth, as I've always said in some of my videos. So make sure that you plan ahead of time before coming. Yes. All right. If this is your first time on my channel, you are absolutely welcome. And thank you for always clicking to watch, talking to my old subscribers. I love your constant support. So please subscribe to my channel if you are stopping by for the very first time. Like this video, drop your comments, turn the bell on so that you get notified each time I upload a video. Let's get on with this video. Alright, so today, what prompted this video is a kind of call I got this very evening. I actually went to the house myself. Now, I was imagining if this couple had moved to the UK with their children, because they have children in Nigeria, but they decided to come in first on their own, to set things right before bringing their children. So they recently got a house, so they moved into the house. Unfortunately, they've been in that house for days now. They don't really know how to navigate around, set the heater and all that stuff. Then I went there to help out. I couldn't even find where to on the heater. Yes, it was difficult navigating, and I was able to help them switch on the cooker, which is the burner and all them stuff. So imagine if they had brought their kids. In fact, there is no way I can spend 30 minutes in that house. But somebody or people sleep in that house. What if they had come with their children? So number one point, if you are planning to come to the UK in 2023, please, I think it's better you come alone first, or you come as a couple, you and your wife, leaving your children with your grandparents or anyone. You come around, settle down first. Getting a house in the UK is something I don't want to start talking about over and over in my content. It is absolutely difficult, especially even those who came in with even those who came in on tier 2 visa. They are finding it difficult to get a proper accommodation. Talk more of students, because if you are here on a study visa, to be honest, getting a house, it might take you about 2 to 3 months or 4-6 months, as the case may be, because before a landlord would give you a house, they would ensure that you are working. Yes, you get a job, so this is why it is necessary. If you're coming with your spouse, fantastic. Your spouse will take up a full-time job while you do your restricted 20 hours a week job. By so doing, once you get a job, you can easily, get a proper house. Yes, so do not make that mistake, please. Because in this code, staying in code like this, squatting, taking your children around, oh my God, it's a whole lot of difficult task. You will be crying for your kids. And honestly, you cannot enroll your child or your children into any school without a definite address. So you need one. Secondly, have at least 6 months upkeep money. I tell you what, people can easily lend you money back home in my own country, Nigeria, compared to people lending you money in this very country. Nobody would borrow you shishi, unless people who know that, who can trust you and believe that you can even pay, especially when you are here on a skilled job. But as a student, it might be difficult for someone to, give you some money here, So please make sure that you save up, you plan ahead before coming, to avoid, had I known, to avoid somebody wishing to go back when you are just arriving the country. Now, number 3, do not bank your hope on your relatives living in the UK. Now, I've often heard people, they want to come to a particular city in the UK because their family is living there, their relatives, their loved ones, they are living there. That's why they want to move to that very city. This is, I cannot say it's wrong, because some people are willing to help, some are not willing to help. I've got this question in my DM. A lady who gained admission to study in University of Bolton, is in Lancashire, close to Manchester. Now she's asking me if there's a way she could get a house in Birmingham. I was like, Bolton is the university where I studied, and I've traveled to Birmingham by road 2 times. And somebody was asking me, you are studying in Bolton and you want to get a house in Birmingham. Traveling by road is about 4 to 5 hours. You know, by train is 2 hours plus. You want to get a house. I said, why? She said, because her sister lives in Birmingham. She wants to be leaving her baby with her sister while she goes to school. How does this work? Now, this is apart. Recently, a gentleman came into the UK. You know, the university he gained admission into is University of Hull. You know, and the family letter came after 2 weeks because the people he was staying at this advised him he should let the family stay in Nigeria until he's fully settled down, but he wouldn't listen. So the family came down here. He wants the family to be staying here in Middlesbrough, you know, while he goes to school. Then I asked this gentleman, how many hours by train? He said it took him 4 hours by train to go to school, you know, and besides, he wants to get school for the children here in Middlesbrough area. Why? Because he's actually squatting with somebody, you know, he's not paying rent, you know, that kind of a thing. And I said, how many days do you do your lectures? He said once in a week. That's why he wants to be traveling to, you know, Hull once in a week. But this is not a realistic plan at hand. You can't keep your family here. And in fact, I really spoke to him as if I was talking to a little child, because he should be about 20 years older than myself. You know, I told him things don't work that way. That you go to lecture, you attend lecture once in a week, doesn't mean that you might not be having seminars. How about the library? How about, I talk about transportation around, before you could get to train station here, you've already spent £5, you know. So all these things you should put into consideration. Now, you want to be traveling for 4 or 5 hours. You finish lecture in 30 minutes or 1 hour. Those you did lecture with, they are already in their homes, dining and chilling with their children. You will be traveling for 5 hours. Make a plan. Do not rely on your relatives. You know, they have their own problems. They have their own issues to sort. You know, and guess what? The family one of these persons wanted to be staying with, or was at that moment staying with, the already family of 4. And this very person is also family of 4 on top of another person's head. How do you want them to cook soup? That means once they make soup, it finishes. Once they... Men, do not rely on anybody. Do not make your plans on top another families. They all have their problems. They all have their, their plans, their targets for the week, you know. So when coming, make a proper plan for yourself and for your family. I think it is important. Please, else you get disappointed in this very country. I can assure you that people can be, it's not mean. They can say something and they meant what they say, because an hour is money in this country. Talk more of paying bills for another person. It's a whole lot. They would definitely want you to be productive, supportive as well, because parasitism or parasitic lifestyle is something that doesn't exist in this country. No one wants to be made to dry. This very point is particularly for the students. You come in as a student, I tell you what, you might be asked to go back to your country if you fail any of your modules. It happened recently. Someone in the University of I think Huddersfield or where, you know, the person failed a course and was asked to return to, was given 60 days to return to her country, you know, and she has her dependents, her children she brought in with. Imagine, she has to go back. She was asked to go back after 60 days to reapply again. So if you are here on a study visa, be serious. Know it that yes, you've come in here to study. Take it serious and endeavor to pass your modules excellently well, so that, you know, when you apply for visa renewal, they can renew your visa for you. Next point, if you are also looking for a job in this country, do not, you know, restrict your job search on health and social care, which is the healthcare work, support work, and all what have you within the health and social care. You can also spread your tentacles around other kinds of job. You can take up a warehouse job, security job, you know, Amazon, you know, they have different kind of shift they run, you know, working in the shop, you know, as a salesperson and all them stuff. You can also train to become a cyber security personnel. You know, don't just base your job search on becoming a healthcare assistant, support worker, you know, because that's industry seems to be somehow saturated now, okay? Especially now, a lot of students are allowed to switch their study visa to work visa. A lot of them are taking up their health and social care jobs, Yeah, here as a student, endeavor to abide by all your school rules and regulations, especially, in fact, this is not even your school rules and regulation, where it is stated you are limited to 20 hours of work in a week. Abide by that, keep it at that, unless you have other jobs where you can be, receiving cash at hand. But remember, as a student, if you work 5-6 days a week, it might limit your chances of doing well in your program. So this is why they restricted you to working just 20 hours a week. And also avoid anything that would make you seek recourse to public fund. You are not allowed to apply for public fund, public help of any form. It is also written in your passport, so avoid all these things, so that when you want your visa to be extended, especially the post-study work visa, if perchance you were not able to switch to skilled workers visa while studying here, the Home Office can as well easily issue you or extend your visa for you and your family. So it is important you keep it clean, while living here. Sharp, do not follow it. So I'm not advising you because I'm not your big sister or your auntie or your mama. You know what is best as an adult, but it will be pleasing and something that will give you a kind of peace of mind if you keep to the rules, especially when you know that what you are doing are the things expected of you to be doing. This is a foreign land, do not follow the fast lane or fast track. Sharp leads to destruction. Yes, I am not a preacher of good news. Anyway, this is it for this very content. Please make proper planning before thinking of moving to the UK, especially those of you that will be moving in next year. Somebody already told me she gained admission for November. So November 2022 is still very far. Work very hard, save some money before coming into this country. And when you are here, be patient, work hard, focus on your goal, and definitely the sky will be your starting point. I wish you all the best as you plan to japa to the UK. All right, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate all your support and never taking this for granted. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, drop your comments, and keep coming for more content as this. Bye for now.